So we're gonna get started. Today's practice is yoga. Again, today's good for your joints, your muscles, your relaxation. And just to repeat one more time, we have a mat. I have a mat. You can grab the floor. If you do have a hard edge floor, make sure you have a towel or a blanket. And if you need modifications, we have a chair, and I will show you how to use that. So as we get started, let's just go ahead and stand or sit. You're gonna stand tall. Ground your feet into the floor, tuck your belly button under, hips come under, shoulders roll down and back, and really lift your chest towards the sky. Pull your chin towards your neck and just shake out your fingers. Now, if you're in the seated position, everything applies from the hips up, okay? Your feet are just rested. Now, draw the chin down into the chest. You're just breathing normally and rolling one ear towards the shoulder. Just take it down and hold just to where you feel comfortable. Bring the chin back into the chest. And then roll your other ear to the other shoulder. Just notice what you feel. It's okay. There's no judgments today. Okay, pull your chin back into your chest and circle to that opposite side again, that first side. Ooh, that shoulder and neck, right? I know, me too. Drop the chin down and let's roll to the other side. And again, you're just gonna notice what you notice. One more time, slowly to both directions. First, we'll go to the first side, which is right or left. It's up to you. And if you're standing, you're balancing. And then one more time to the other side. Anytime you need to change or modify moves today, this is your practice. Remember, it is not mine. Don't give up. You can just breathe and rest. Take your chin to the chest for me. Lift your head up to the center. And very slowly, just roll your shoulders. So lift your shoulders and pull them back. Lift like you're drawing a big circle with your shoulders. Let's do 2 more times. And then put the shoulders down, and can we lift them up to the ears and circle forward? I know it's a little awkward, but just try anyway. Forward and down. Good. Up, forward, and down. Let's try 2 more. Forward and down. Last one. Forward and down. Wonderful. Take your fingers, clasp them together. Pull your palms out. Now I'm going to turn to the side so you can see what I'm doing. Whether you're sitting in the chair or standing, pull your belly back, tuck your chin, and feel that stretch across your upper back. All right, big, so you're looking through your arms like a basketball hoop. Now take your arms and extend them over your head and try to pull your arms back behind your ears. Don't worry how far you go. It's not a competition. Let's come forward again. Pull your belly in like you're curving your spine, C shape. Tuck your chin in, eyes gaze down. Feel that stretch across your upper back. Yes, doesn't it feel good? And then pull your arms up like you're trying to lift to the ceiling. Pull yourself higher, drive the arms back. And then release your fingers and take them at your sides. Beautiful. So we're gonna come forward. If you're seated, go ahead and stay seated. You can also stand in front of your chair. You can use the floor. I'm gonna show you a few different options. The first round, we're gonna get accustomed to this, all right? So just bear with me. So it's inhale, your arm's gonna come up, lift up, look up, and then we're gonna exhale, and we're just gonna fold forward. So you can just lean over your legs if you're seated. If you're gonna come to the chair, your hands touch the chair. If you're gonna come lower, just take your hands onto your shins or your feet or the floor. And now just relax. You're gonna feel the stretch in the back of the legs, maybe in the lower back. If you're sitting in your chair, you're just rounding over your legs. And then what I'd like you to do is come up into a long spine. So come up halfway. This is called the halfway raise. Yes, if your hands are on your chair, you're here. If they're on the legs, you're here. Stay where you are. If you're on the chair, you're just lifted here. Remember, you can do anything on that chair. I'm going to show you as I turn. Now from there, I'd like you to just fold all the way down. Now release. Now if you're on the chair, you're going to roll up and you're going to repeat that. If you're on the floor, take your hands down, bend the knees, and step your feet back into a plank. Now if you're on the chair with your hands, your plank is here. Deal? So you have options. You can even walk like I just did. Now if you need those knees down, put your knees down. Beautiful. And then I just want you to drive your hips up to the sky, push your chest towards your feet, and feel that stretch in down dog. Now again, stay there if you're good. If your hands are on the chair, same thing applies. Your hips go back. See, my hands are just a little bit higher. Sometimes this helps. Some days you're just tighter. And if you're on the chair in that seated position, just keep lifting your arms and folding over your legs like we did in the beginning. All right, so if you're on in downward dog, I'd like you just come forward into a plank or push-up position. Draw your knees to the floor. Bend your elbows. I'm going to move this. Bend your elbows towards your ribs and just carefully bring yourself to the floor. Bring the tops of the feet to the floor. Press your chest and look up. Now this might be enough. If it's not enough, push up higher. If it's too much, come down lower. Good. Open your chest, lift your chest, drop the shoulders. Good. And then we're just going to come all the way down. Come to hands and knees. Push back into child's pose. Big stretch back. And then we're going to come forward. Tuck your toes. Raise your knees back into down dog. And then we're going to come into plank. First, step your feet forward one at a time. Take your time. And then hands on your legs, roll yourself up slow. Or the chair. And so that's going to be a very good warm-up. So, reminder, you guys could just stand breathing. If you're on your chair, you're inhaling, you're exhaling, you're inhaling, exhaling, and inhaling, and down. That is your sun salutation, okay? So you're gonna follow through. If you're on the chair, your hands touch the chair. If you're coming to the floor, your hands go lower. 3 options, all right? So let's try 2 sun salutations. Whether you're on the chair, you know what to do. If you're on the floor, take yourself to the front of your mat. Hands can be on the chair when we come down. Let's breathe in. Inhale, arms scoop up. Exhale, swan dive over your legs. Hands touch the chair or the shins or the floor. Inhale, come up into halfway lift. So you're lengthening out through the spine. Remember, your hands can stay on the legs or the chair. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, hands on the floor. Step your feet into plank. Knees up or down. Shoot energy out of the crown of your head. Pull your belly button to the spine. Make sure you're breathing. Hold. Now, if you need to, put the knees down. Otherwise, carefully pull your elbows to the ribs. Lower yourself down. And inhale, scoop up to up dog. So you're going to lift your chest up. Feel that stretch. If this is too high, come lower. This is your practice. I want you to be a little bit challenged, but you need to breathe. Yes? Now, tuck your toes. You can come into hands and knees and push back down dog. Big stretch. Big lift up through the tailbone. Push your chest towards your feet. Come back into plank. Step your feet forward one by one. Hands can be on the floor or the chair or the legs. We're going to inhale, halfway raise, lengthen the spine. Good. Exhale, fall over your legs. Bend the knees and roll all the way up slowly. Kind of reversing that swan dive. Exhale, hands down. I'm a little out of breath. Can we try one more? Let's inhale, swoop your arms up, lift up a little higher. And as you exhale, big long stretch all the way over your legs. Feel the stretch. Where do you notice it? Now inhale in a halfway lift. Wherever you are, you're lifting. Exhale, back down to either the chair or the floor. Bend the knees, step your feet back into plank. So this is plank on your chair, okay? If we're on the floor, you know what to do. Bend the knees or keep them up. Pull your belly in and lower down into chaturanga. We're going to scoop the chest up, open the chest, drop the shoulders. If you feel like you have more room to move, lift your knees. I want you to squeeze the muscles in your legs. Tuck your toes, you can drop the knees, push back into downward facing dog. Big stretch back, lift the tailbone, press the chest back. You can shake your head right to left. Come forward into plank. Send your feet forward one by one. Lower your body forward. Now inhale into that halfway lift. Remember, lengthen the spine. Can you stretch it longer? Release forward. Bend the knees and roll all the way up. And then relax your arms at your sides. Roll your shoulders. Excellent job, team. All right, so we're going to move into the next flow before we hold some postures. This just gets the body warmed up, your blood's pumping. We're going to start with the chair pose. So take your arms up and just sit your hips back. Now, if you're sitting on the chair, I'd like you to sit your legs back, extend forward, and you're just going to reach out. Yes? So it's a long line from your hips to the fingers. And then when you lift up, you just come up to the top, to the seated position. All right? Otherwise, I'm going to turn to the side. Inhale. If you're standing, feet are grounded. Push your hips back, bend the knees, and imagine that you're sitting into a chair. You're not really, though, but your arms shoot up. Good. Now we're going to circle those arms down and release the body over the legs again, whether your hands are on the chair or the floor or the feet. Inhale, back into that halfway lift. We've already done this. Lengthen again. Exhale, fold over, bend the knees, walk your hands to the chair or the floor, send your feet back into plank, lower into chaturanga. So if you're on your chair, you just bend down, and then you inhale, you scoop your chest up. You got it. You guys are doing amazing. Tuck your toes, drop back into downward facing dog, or just hold what feels good now. Now, if you're in downward dog, you could bend one knee, push one heel to the floor. Feel that stretch in the back of the leg, and then switch other leg. So stay there. If your hands are on the chair, it just looks like this, or just higher with your hands, okay? Perfect. Now drive both heels down into down dog. Push your chest towards your feet. Good. We're going to come forward into plank position, whether your hands are on the chair or the feet or the floor. Step one foot forward. Step your other foot forward. Lower yourself down. Inhale, lift up, straight spine, lengthen the spine. Bend the knees, come down again, and then roll the body all the way to the top and release. Excellent. All right, I'm going to show you one more modification before we continue, because we're going to be standing into a warrior pose. When you're sitting on the warrior pose, your one toe turns out, your other foot is straight, and this is your warrior pose. So when you're standing, I just come up. See, it's the same thing. It's like you sat down. So all these poses can be done on that chair. So let's try one more. So we're going to take the feet together, bring your arms above your head, shoot your hips back and back into chair pose. I want you to squeeze your knees together, and then release and swan dive over your legs, nice and low. Come down to the floor of the chair. Inhale, scoop up, looking out, lengthening your spine. And then release down towards the floor of the chair. Bend the knees, step your feet back into plank. Brace your abdominals tight. Do you feel that? Now lower yourself down. Chaturanga, inhale, pull yourself into up dog. Open your chest, your knees can be down, you can be lower, or you can lift higher. Now tuck your toes when you're ready. Let's go back into down dog. Breathe here, push back through the stretch in the back of the legs, and when you're ready, raise one leg. Let's call it our right side. Bring that right leg up, and then we're gonna bring ourselves into plank and step that right foot forward. Now if you're on the chair, turn one foot out just like I showed you, and we're gonna pivot that other foot wide. So you're just gonna flatten that foot. And then walk your hands up on your thigh, hands on your hip bones, turn yourself to face this front leg, and your arms lift. So I will show you, you guys stay here if you're standing. If you are on that chair, just to show you, you're here. Remember, arms up, and you just turn as much as you can and face that bent knee. Same idea, guys. Again, if I stood up, magic, I'm in that position. So you're really feeling that opening through the hips. And then I just want you to soften your knee more. Take your hands either to the chair or the floor. Pivot the back heel. Step this front foot back. Knees up or down. Let's lower down into chaturanga. Inhale, scoop up. Are you feeling this? It should not be easy. That's a good sign. Tuck your toes. Push back into down dog. Now, you could stay here. If you're feeling tired and you need a break, come here and hold child's pose. If you're on your chair, just sit up and breathe. You're in charge. Remember that. Now take your left leg and scoot it to the sky. Reach up as high as you can for that stretch. And then when you're ready, take your body forward and slide that foot between your hands. Now if it doesn't make it there, grab the ankle, bring it there. Pivot the back foot flat. If you're on the chair, your other foot faces out. And let's come back up. Hands on the hips, turn towards that front leg. Arms reach over your head and sink down into that front leg. So both feet push evenly. Stay there. It's like both feet are stretching outward. One foot pushes this way, other foot pushes this way. Arms reach up, chest lifts. Energy's flying through your body right now. Inhale, one more time, relax your shoulders. I know we want to tense. And as you exhale, just fold over again. Pivot the back foot, step this front foot back, and let's lower down. Inhaling as you come up. Oh, that feels nice, right? Are you guys getting warm? Your blood is pumping. Push back, downward dog. It's actually raining here. I hear the rain outside. It's really soothing. Let's take the knees down if you're on the floor. Push your hips back. Make sure your knees are open and walk your elbows towards the floor. And stay here. We're going to hold here for a few breaths. Now, if you're on the chair, all I'd like you to do is just fold over. You can take your hands onto your thighs and round over. Make sure your abs are contracted. And if it feels better to take your hands behind, but I find it's easier to just rest on the legs. So this is a resting pose. You guys are doing fabulous. Excuse me. Stay there. Now wiggle your body right now. Don't want you to worry about looking up. I want you to wiggle and try to find like you're settling in to the sand at the beach and you're just trying to wiggle into the sand. Close your eyes and let's take a deep breath in through the nose. Let the breath out through the nose. And we'll try it again. Breathe in through the nose. And breathe out. You want to breathe out through the mouth, you can do the same thing. One more time, team. Breathe in. And exhale out. And let's rise back up into hands and knees or sit up tall in your chair. Now, if you're on the floor, take 1 foot forward. If you're on the chair, I will show you a modification. If you need more cushion on this bottom knee, grab a towel. And I like to sometimes roll it up and put it under the knee. Okay, so it's an option. Make sure this ankle and knee in a straight line. And we're gonna walk the hands up here. Make sure your chest is lifted and you're just gonna lean. So you're gonna feel a nice release here. Now, if you're on the chair, all I want you to do, you can take 1 foot, either step it back, and you're gonna lean forward. Okay, so it's just kind of like challenging the stretch here. You're leaning into this hip, and if that doesn't feel good, just lean more to one leg. All right, you can just kind of like move that leg out of the way. And there's no rules in yoga. It's really what works for you today. Now, if you'd like to, the same leg that's behind you, raise that arm up. You're gonna feel a deeper stretch, yes? Enjoy it. Our hips need this, so take a deep breath in through the nose. Remember that deep belly breath, exhale, relax into your stretch. Now, if you're okay, stay here. If it's enough for you. If you want more, start to angle your arm behind you and gently towards the opposite side of the room. So instead of going straight back this way, I'm going diagonal towards my garage door. I'm gonna feel a deeper stretch through that hip. I'm still holding myself up on this front thigh with my forearm. Good. Now take this hand, slide it right on the small of your back, and just turn and look over your shoulder. You don't have to go far on this. Be very gentle. We want to take care of the body, risk of any risks. We don't want to risk injuring ourselves. We want to protect the body. So move slowly, carefully with your breath. As you exhale, you might be able to go a little further, twisting a little deeper, looking a little further back. Oh, I like this one. Good, and then when you're ready, take that arm back up and take the hand back to the floor of the chair. Okay, I'm gonna step back, so if you're on the floor, you're gonna bring that back knee up, send this foot back, and let's lower down. If you're on the chair, do your arms over your head and round over your legs. Otherwise, we're coming to chaturanga. Inhale, scoop up dog. It's called our vinyasa flow. Tuck your toes, push back down dog. All the way back. Now you really should feel the stretches as you go deeper, your body gets warmer, you might be able to go a little bit more into the stretch. Now bend the knees, bring them to the floor, and we're gonna switch sides. So I'm gonna move my towel to the other knee, and we're gonna step that other foot forward. So when you're on the chair, just step 1 foot forward, and you're gonna lean into that leg. So again, knee over ankle, hands on my thigh, lean forward and feel that stretch. Now I feel it in this opposite hip, that's away from you now. So I'm just gonna hold her, lift your chest, think of your best posture. Do you need to roll your shoulders further back? Do you need to soften your face? Do you need to think of something pleasant? Now if you want more of a stretch, take that back arm up now. It's like you're raising your hand, trying to touch the ceiling. And if this is enough, you stay here. If it's not, you can start to reach over and back. It's kind of at an angle. You're gonna feel that big stretch down the side of your body and in your hip. Especially if you do any really impactful movements, your body needs this. If you run, if you do exercise that's heavy and intense, you're gonna need these type of stretches to just reduce any risk of injury, working on your mobility. Good. And then we're gonna take that hand, place it on the small of your back, and you can just turn and look over your shoulder. Now again, don't force it, just breathe. Can you look a little further back? You can even use that hand on the knee to just help you pivot a little further, but don't force. Good, we're gonna take that arm back up, come back to the front, and take that hand down. And then take that other hand, bring both knees down. We're gonna tuck the toes, lift up into down dog, push back. I'm gonna move my towel, you can keep it there. If you're on the chair, do your fold and lift. If you're on the floor or your hands on the chair, come forward into plank, bend your elbows, lower yourself down, and inhale to scoop up into up dog. Remember, we've done these before. You're just repeating to keep the blood pumping. Heart is pumping. Tuck your toes, push back, down dog. We're gonna lift that right leg up again. Are you ready? Shoot the toes to the ceiling, and then slide that foot forward. It doesn't have to come all the way. You can help it. And we're gonna hold. Oh, this is a deep stretch, right? If it's too much, bend that back knee down again. I'm gonna try to lift it and push my back heel. Again, you might need the chair. Totally fine. Keep breathing. Good. Now I'm gonna keep the back. You can see the back toes are tucked. My heel is lifted. If you can, this is an option. You can stay right here if not. If you can, take your hands either to the chair or your thigh and lift your chest off the thigh. This is called crescent, and oh, it's a burner. So if it's too much, bring your hands back to the chair or the floor. But make sure your front foot is grounded, knee over ankle. My back heel extends back, and if you want, you shoot those arms to the ceiling, or you keep them on the thigh. Now, I'm trembling, so if you are too, make sure that you're breathing, you're relaxing, and you modify as you need to. Excellent, and we're gonna take the hands back down, and we're gonna lower the hands to the inside of this foot. Now listen to me carefully. You might need to pull the back knee down. That's option one. Option two, you can keep the back knee lifted and you stay up on your hands. Now there's options 3 and 4. Let me show you. Option 3, you take one forearm, one elbow down. Option 4, you can take both down. Now if that doesn't work or you're pulling too much, take one or both hands back to the floor. Also, feel free to use the chair, all right? Now what if you're sitting on the chair? Guys, stay where you are. I want you to stay there for a few breaths. If you're in the chair, you're gonna turn and send that foot back. Remember, we're just standing here, and you're gonna push up here. So you're gonna be able to turn on your chair. So I want you to turn to one side, elbow or hands push into that leg and lift up. You're still gonna extend that back leg behind you, toes under, heel back, yeah? So again, if I stand up off my chair, guess where I'm at? I'm in this position. All right, are we burning? Take your hands down to either the chair, the floor, or the thigh. Or actually, we're on the floor. I lied. Take your hands back up. You're like, what is she talking about? Bring the back knee down. You got this. Keep that opposite hand on the floor. We're going to turn. So whatever side your knee is on, open up to that knee. Lift that arm up. And feel that stretch. If you're on the chair, remember that knee is just bent to the side. You're going to rotate towards the back of the chair. Now take the hand that's up, and can you place it on the small of your back? Look over your shoulder, look up to the ceiling, and push out of the shoulder that's on the floor. Don't let the shoulder come to your ear. Take the arm that's behind your back, that hand, and lift it back up to the ceiling, and then rotate back to the floor. Wow, that was tough. Yeah, take your knees down to the floor or just round over yourself on the chair and go into child's pose. Again, wiggle yourself around, move any tension out, close your eyes and come back to your breath. Can you let yourself go deeper into the stretch? So if you're on the chair, you're just rounding over your thighs. Remember, this is just a rounded spine position. Enjoy the release. And when you're ready, come back up into hands and knees or sitting tall. Tuck your toes if you're on the floor. Push back into down dog. Send the energy up to the hips and out to the crown of your head. Push your chest towards your feet and send your left leg up to the sky. Big stretch. And when you're ready, slide that foot forward. You can help it with your hand. And we're back into this position. Now again, this might be too much. Take the knee down, and if you need that towel, place it under your knee. You can even take your hands on the chair. Always an option, right? Now if you're feeling okay, you can hold it here. Feel free to stay here or hands on chair. Otherwise, your knees down. Taking your hands to your thigh if you're able to. It's only an option. But lift your chest, push that back heel behind you, straighten out that leg, and this front knee's bent. Oh, those legs are shaky. If you're on the chair, remember you turn that other knee out, you're facing the other side of the room. And if you want to, reach those arms up and like you're trying to touch the ceiling. Do you feel that reach extension through those arms? Now drop the shoulders out of your ears. You don't want them up in your ears. Good, and take your hands back down to your thigh or the chair. Walk your hands to the floor. And you can bring the back knee down, keeping that opposite hand on the floor. You're gonna turn towards your knee. So whichever side your knee's on, open up the chest, look up, and rotate and lift the fingers to the ceiling. Push that hand into the ground and lengthen the shoulder away from your ear. Excellent. And if you're able to, slide the hand just on the small of your back. And if you can look a little further over your shoulder, feel free, feel amazing, taking care of your body. If you're not breathing, go back into a simpler position, team. Now take that arm that's back and lift it up again, shoot the energy through your fingers, and then take that hand down on the outside of your foot. Take this knee back, let's push back. Child's pose or round over your legs. I just want you to just kind of wiggle yourself down again and relax. Breathing deep, breathing full. Good. Now I have a little bit of a challenge. So we're gonna come up into hands and knees. Remember, you can always modify. Tuck your toes, go into down dog, push the hips up, drive the chest towards your feet. We're gonna lift that right leg up again and take that foot forward. Again, if you need help, walk it forward. Now, you either have the chair or you have the floor. But what we're gonna do is we're going to extend up. If you're on the chair, your hands are on the chair. If you're not on the chair, I want you to extend your arms out to the side. You can tuck that back foot, hop it in a bit, and you're going to come up into a warrior three. So either the toes touch the floor, your hands can be on the chair too, or you're gonna extend the legs up and come into a capital T position. All right, you see that? If you need balance, you help yourself here. Now what if you're on the chair? If you're on the chair, you turn this toe, this knee, and then you just lean forward. You're gonna keep the back toes on the ground, but lengthen through the spine and you can reach those arms out. All right, stay there. Good, now if you have the chair or your arms are out, try something with me. Look at the floor, brace your abs, bend that supporting knee just a little bit like you're doing a squat, and then push yourself back up. Let's try 4 more. Ready? Down, slow, and then push yourself up. Pull your abs in. Here's 3, down, push yourself up. You can use the chair. 2 more times, down, slow, and push yourself up. Can we try one more? Pretty, please. Down, slow, push up and hold. Good. Now, take your hands either to the chair, or if you don't have a chair and you're feeling good, take it to the floor. We're gonna lift the leg up as high as you can, almost like you're trying to do the splits. You're not really, but that's the idea. Stretch the legs apart. Now, if you're on the floor, walk your hands closer to your foot. Try to get your nose towards the knee. If you're on the chair, your hands are on the chair for support, and you're just lifting that leg up. Yes? It's a balance move too, so make sure that you focus on that whole foot push down. Good. Now carefully soften the front knee. Take the back toes to the floor. Wow. Hands on the floor. Bring both feet back into plank. Lower down, chaturanga. Are you sweating? Inhale, scoop up. Up dog. It's amazing what we do without jumping, right? Tuck your toes, push back, down dog. Oh, big stretch, big relief. You can bend one knee, straighten that other leg, that heel to the floor, and then switch sides. You're welcome. Deep breath, guys. Don't hold your breath. Push both heels back, press your chest towards your toes. And when you're ready, let's lift that leg up to the left leg up to the ceiling. Step it forward. Nice. And breathe. I really want you to find your breath. If you need that chair, make sure that you have the chair right in front of you. Otherwise, we're going to kind of slide the back foot in, bring ourselves up, arms out, or holding onto the chair. Brace your abs, lift your chest, and we're just gonna try to balance. So even if your back toes are touching the floor, that's okay. Most of the weight's on the front leg. And then you can just fold forward. If you're on the chair, turn to the other wall. You can always lift that back leg and breathe. Your hands can be on the chair, or you can touch the back toes to the floor, eyes looking in front of you on the ground. And when you're ready, bend that knee, lower yourself down, and then push yourself straight up. Very controlled, team. Take your time. Be careful. Lower down. Use that balance if you need that chair or the wall. Push up. We try 3 more. Down. I know it's wiggly. I know you're shaky. Push back up. It's good to challenge those muscles. 2 more times. Come down and push up. 1 more with me, team. Come down. Oh, that leg's on fire. Push up. Now, if you have the chair, hands on the chair, and you can lift the leg. If you're on the floor, hands to the floor, don't hit your head. And lift the leg up. Let the head hang. Standing splits. Feel that extension. So I'm feeling a big stretch in the back of this leg here, my hamstrings. Hopefully you're feeling something there too. If your hand's on the floor, you can always challenge your hands walking towards your feet, driving your knee towards that, nose towards that knee. Keep breathing, lifting the leg. Keep breathing, lifting the leg. Excellent. Now take both feet down and just take your feet on the ground and roll yourself forward. Hang forward, forward fold. Remember, if you want your hands on the chair, they're on the chair. If you're sitting on the chair, just lengthen over your legs. Oh my goodness. All right, team. So what I'm going to have you do is take your feet, make sure that they're parallel to each other and they're about hip distance. So I'm going to actually turn so you can see, and I'll be turning. Don't follow me with the turning. Just stay here. Now what I'd like you to do is sit your hips back. If you have the chair in front of you, your hands are on the chair. Drop your hips back as low as you can. So watch here. I could stay right there. And if I need to release, I'm just going to release back up. But try to come down. We want to really open up the hips. Maybe you let go of the chair and you put your palms together like a prayer position. And you lift your eyes up to the ceiling, chest up. Now if you're on the chair, just sit up nice and tall. Make sure your spine is long. Open your chest. Find your breath. I want you to find your center, because we're going to add a little challenge to this. So if you feel like you need to come out of this, go ahead and come out of it. You can sit on the floor. You can go into child's pose. I just want you to open up those hips just a bit. Good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take those hands forward. So lean forward and raise your heels off the floor. Okay, do you see that the heels are up? So I'm going to turn at an angle so you can see what I look like here. So I'm going to keep this knee in front of me, my heel off the floor. I'm going to slide this heel forward. It's kind of like if you've ever done a pistol squat. But I want you to sit this butt cheek on that heel. So let me turn to the side without turning my knee. I'm going to sit on that heel. Remember that the heel is up, and I'm just going to bring it forward. You can take your hands down. Your knee could be a lot bent. Your hands could be on the chair. Find what works. This is not easy. And if you're feeling good, straighten up the leg. Now, tuck your hip under. Now, the more balanced you are, the more flexible you are, you might want to slide your hands to your thigh, open up your chest, eyes gaze forward, or you might want to slide your palms together. Now this is super hard, so if it's too much, bring your hands back down. Don't judge yourself. Be proud that you're even trying this right now, or any version of it. If you're on the chair, I know you can't do this, so find one of the moves that we just did and just stretch into that position. Good. Now take your hands back down. How's that leg? It's on fire, yes? So let's take this foot under. We're going to stretch the other side. So pull this heel up, resting that side of the glute, the booty cheek on that heel, and slide your other leg out. Now your hands are down or on the chair. It's okay to wiggle. You're pretty close to the floor. So just be mindful of your body. You can keep the knee bent or straight depending on your flexibility. Lift up and hold. Eyes focused on one spot. Get a focus point. And then take your palms, if you can, one or both. And if you're like, no way, Kathy, just keep your hands on the floor. Now notice you're going to have a shakier side. This is my shakier side. And that's the side I really have to work on. And that's okay. I can take my hand down anytime I feel like I might be falling over. But I want to breathe. And I want to be proud of myself. Hold for 4, 3, 2, and take your hands down. Oh yes, we felt that, yeah? So take both feet down. And what I want you to do is take your hands and knees on the floor, lift your feet and just circle your ankles. Now if you're sitting on the chair, just lift your feet up and circle your ankles. You can do the same thing, one at a time or both, and reverse the circles. Doesn't that feel good? And you can point and flex your feet one by one, point, flex, point, flex. This is good for your ankles. Circle them again, and circle the other way. Good, and then point, flex, point, flex. And let's place the tops of the feet on the floor, push your hips back, rest in child's pose. Shake out those hips. Now if you need some water, you can grab water right now. We're gonna stretch out the wrists and the forearms. But first, just relax. I'm gonna actually grab some water, but you can just rest. How we doing, team? I'm so proud of you guys. Giving yourself the time and the attention. It's not easy. Yoga is not easy, but it does help you so much. It was always one of those harder things for me because I had to slow down and I don't have natural patience. So for me to find it was really hard. All right, so from here, team, we're just gonna have a seat on your heels. Yeah, you feel good? So why don't you take your palms, just go ahead and show me your hands. Are they clean? Just kidding. We're gonna take them on the floor. And then what I want you to do is either find one or two positions. The first position, which is a little easier, is to turn the palms out. And I'm gonna show you what to do if you're sitting on the chair. A little harder position is to turn the fingers towards you, but the palms are still gonna be on the floor. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna come up a little bit, off the heels, hips off the heels. So if you're here, you're just gonna stay here. You're gonna feel a great stretch in the forearm, which is your part of your wrists. So if you have carpal tunnel type of issues or your wrists are bugging you, this is really, really important to take care of those forearms. This might be enough, or if you need to, you turn the fingers away from you, okay? Yes. Now, if you're good here, stay here. Again, you can lift your feet, you can circle those ankles. It feels good to circle after all that work on those heels. And when you're ready, place those feet down and just lean your hips back, maybe just a little bit at a time to feel the stretch in the forearms deepen. Now, stay there. If you're sitting on the chair, another great stretch here is just to take one hand, palms turn towards, away from you, and you're just turning the fingers and pulling them towards you. Yep, you're gonna feel that stretch right there. That's all, just breathe. And then when you're ready, you'll be able to turn the back of the hand away from you and you pull on the other side, stretching the top of that forearm. And then you'll repeat with the other arm. And you could just circle the wrist around and then come back to the stretch. All right, those of you that are on the floor, how we doing? I know it's a lot. I know it's a lot, so let's turn those fingers out and turn those fingers forward. All right, so if you're on the chair, just keep doing that. I have a little challenge for those of you on the floor. You're gonna go ahead and keep your hands on the ground, and I just want you to lean forward slightly, pull your belly in, so you're gonna get a little round in your back like a cat, and lift your knees. Ooh, it's like a little bear, yeah? So feel those shoulders moving out of your ears, pull your belly button in the spine, and just hold. Good, and then bring your knees back down, stretch back into child's pose. So you're gonna feel that in the belly. I have another little challenge for you, so wiggle it out first. Don't get too relaxed yet. Nice, and relax here. Good, and come back up. Are you breathing? So again, hands and knees. I'd like you to really squeeze your abs nice and tight. Good, I want you to tuck your toes in. You can bring your knees closer underneath you. Tuck your toes under, and now lift your knees up again. Yeah? Good. Squeeze your abs. And can you lift one foot? Now I know that might be too much, so if you need to just tap the toe, top of the foot on the floor. Good, and take the foot down. Release all the way down, stretch back, child's pose. Shake it off, you're okay. You're okay. Let's try that other foot now. So when you're ready, just come up into hands and knees. Hands under your shoulders, slightly in forward, tuck your toes, raise your knees, and then raise one other foot. Yeah, so pull your belly button into the spine. Good. Take that foot down, tuck the toes, bring the knees down, and slide back. So when you slide back, you're releasing those arms, the shoulders, your face, and just wiggle out the hips. Good. We're gonna try one more thing. So what I'd like you to do is take your hands a little closer, lean forward, tuck your toes, and just lift. And can you raise one knee? Now you're not gonna be able to lift both knees, so put that foot down, lift the other knee. Because we're not doing crane here yet. We won't do that today. and then bring that foot down. Lift the first knee again. Can you come up higher? Really round to the back. Let your head hang. And then lower that foot. Come down a little bit, and then other side. Tuck that, like you're tucking yourself up into a little ball. Nice and high. Push the floor away from you with your hands. Now take that foot down and release all the way to child's pose. We're done with that one. Release side to side. Oh my goodness, my heart rate went up. Relax. And exhale. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. And let's come up to hands and knees. So what I'd like you to do is again, tuck your toes, sit back into the heels, take the palms together. If you're sitting on the chair, join us now. Take the hands together, right into your heart center, and then push the hands together, lift your elbows. You're gonna feel a big stretch through the wrists, the forearms, the shoulders. But what I don't want you to do is lift your shoulders like this. Push them down and try to raise your elbows instead. So if your elbows are here, you're not gonna feel anything. Push your hands into each other and lift those elbows. You feel the difference? So energies into the palms. You should feel that heat. Good. Now we're just gonna switch it. Turn the backs of the hands together. Yep. Good, and you can draw the back of the hands together and draw the elbows down now. If this hurts your ankles, you can always sit back into your tops of the feet, okay? I just like to really stretch it out. So if you're okay still, stay with your toes tucked under. Good, now we're gonna keep the backs of the hands together and turn the fingers up. So just really feel that energy between those hands. This is all, you can do this throughout your day. It's very simple to do, it's just your hands, and we're breathing. Nice job, team. All right, let's go ahead and come all the way up, shake out. Let's go ahead and turn those wrists around and other direction. Make circles. Circle again, and other side, other direction, and just flick out those wrists. Flick them, flick them, flick them. Really good for the, and then go ahead and just give me your fingers. Show me your jazz hands. Fingers open, close, open, close, open, close. Now, if you're sitting on the chair, I just want you to sit down and take your hands on the sides of the chair or behind you, and you're just gonna puff up your chest. If you're on the floor, tuck your toes under. We're gonna come into a little modified camel. So your hands are on the back, and I'll show you if you're on the chair. Hands on the small of your back, roll your shoulders back, and just look up, lift your chin. This is modified. This is as much as, if this is all you can do, just do this. You're gonna feel a big stretch in the back. Now, if you can do more, push your hands into the back and just look up a little higher as you push your hips forward. All right, don't strain it though. If it's too much, release. Now, if you're on the chair, you guys stay there. If you're, stay. If you're on the chair, hands on the back and just look up here. Same thing, you're just sitting. All right, we're still working that spine. This is really good for the spine. Now, those of you that are good here, you can even come out of it if you want to child's. If you want more and you can keep pushing, try to lean back slightly, and if you can grab the top of your heel, you can grab it with one or both hands, push your hips forward, eyes look up. So it's like a big back bend. If it's too much, take your hands back to the back. Remember, one step at a time, pop up your chest, drive your hips forward, and really let your head relax, but don't strain it back. And when you're ready, walk one hand up to the small back, walk the other to the small back, carefully come up, and hands on the chair or the floor, we're gonna round over into child's pose. So if you're sitting on the chair, go ahead and roll over your legs and breathe. Good, we're gonna come up to hands and knees. If you're on the chair, you're gonna float again. We're gonna go into our vinyasa, so lift your knees, push the hips up into down dog, big stretch. We're gonna do 3 more sun salutations, and then we're gonna relax on the floor and do some floor stretches. Or you're on the chair, you do your chair stretches. Come forward into plank. Good, we're gonna step forward one at a time. Lower your body forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine, look out. Exhale, fold over your legs, bend the knees. Inhale, sweep your arms over your head, eyes up. Exhale, arms at your side. Let's try that again. Inhale, arms up. Now, can you come up taller? And as you exhale, sweep over your legs, hands either on the chair or the legs or the floor. Inhale, lift up halfway. If you're on your chair, you're just doing your folds over your legs. Come all the way down. Bend the knees. You can step or you can try to hop your feet back if you feel like you can handle that. Otherwise, step, step. Lower down into chaturanga. Inhale up into up dog. Knees can stay down or raise them up. Good. And then tuck your toes, push back down dog. Big stretch back. Raise your right leg up to the sky. And then come forward into a plank, but just scoop the knee into your chest, bring your nose towards that knee hold. This is a hovering plank position. Now bring that leg back up to the single down dog, push, and then send that foot back down, come forward into plank, lower down to chaturanga, bend your elbows. Inhale, scoop up into up dog, knees up or down, lift your chest, drop the shoulders, tuck your toes, push back down dog. Are you breathing? Lift that left leg up as high as you can. And then now come forward into plank and pull that knee to your chest, tuck your nose to the knee, hold, hover, push your hands on the floor, and then extend the back up again. Single down dog. Good. Take that foot down. Good. Press back into down dog. Bend those knees, look forward. You can step your feet one at a time, or you can spring your feet forward. Lift your legs. Inhale, halfway raise, eyes out, lengthen the spine. Exhale and fold. And then inhale, swan dive all the way up to the ceiling. And exhale at your sides. All right, roll your shoulders. How are we? Grab your water. If you're ready, we're gonna come to the floor. If you wanna stay on your chair, you're just gonna stay seated and I will show you what you can modify because obviously we're gonna be just stretching a little more gently now, okay? So bring your towel if you want to. Lie back into your mat and pull your knees into the chest. So if you're on the chair, just go ahead and bring one knee up towards your chest. Everybody that's here, just stay here. You're gonna feel a nice release in the lower back. If you're on the chair, you still see, you're just gonna wrap one knee, pull it in, and then you're gonna switch sides. So you'll just be alternating, pull your belly in, squeeze your chest and your knee towards each other, and then switch. Okay, so you're just getting a nice round. If you're on the floor, you're doing both knees together. Nice. And then we're gonna take those feet down. Take the palms onto the floor at your sides. You're gonna press into the feet and lift your hips up like into a bridge position. I want you to squeeze your glutes, squeeze your bottom. Good, and push your chest open. And then you can walk your shoulders a little bit lower and lift your hips up as high as you can. Now this is a good bridge position. Again, good for your spine, strengthening your glutes, the back of your legs. But make sure to keep the back of your neck on the floor, okay? Chin coming towards your chest. And then when you're ready, carefully lower your spine and then your hips into the floor. And once again, hug the knees. And you can rock side to side. Doesn't that feel good? If you're on the chair, one knee in at a time, hug it. Really love your body. It's doing an amazing thing. Good. We're going to take one knee down, and I'll show you if you're on the chair. Just keep one knee down. Cross your other ankle over. Can you guys see that? So if you're on the chair, you're just crossing this leg up and over your thigh, yeah? You can stay there. If you feel you have more room to move, bring that bottom foot off the floor and bring that knee towards you. Your stretch isn't going to be in this hip right here. Now stay there. If you're on the chair, let me show you what this looks like. Because you're still going to get the same stretch. Take it up and lean. Ooh, you're going to feel the hip. I guarantee you, same stretch. Maybe even a little bit more. So stay there, whether you're on the chair or on the floor. And if you're on the floor and you have your hands behind your leg, it's not enough, then walk your hands to your shin. So I want you to try to pull your knee towards your chest so that you feel that hip really stretch. And if you want to, you can lift your head up for a little bit, turn your head side to side, and then lower your head down. And try to push your tailbone into the floor at the same time. Do you feel the difference? Because if your tailbone is up, you're not going to get the stretch. You're working your abs. So push the tailbone down. Oh, that's different. If you're still in the chair, you're just leaning forward. Exhale into it, relax. Nice. And then we're going to take this foot down and uncross this knee. So if you're on the floor, just switch feet too. If you're on the ground, just cross that other ankle over. You guys know the drill. And when you're ready, either lean forward on the chair or bring that foot up and grab either behind your knee or grab your shin. You can lift your head up first. And then when you're ready, lengthen your back of the neck to the floor and then push the tailbone down. You feel the difference? This is so important for our hips, guys. We hold a lot of stress, a lot of pressure in our hips, especially everything that's going on. Even in your day-to-day life, you might not even experience, you know what you're doing, but you're holding on to tension there. We don't want that there. It's not helpful. So try to breathe into your hip. Just kind of close your eyes. And I want you to feel where your hips, how does it feel right now? Is it heavy? Is it tight? Breathe inhaling into that area. And then as you exhale, imagine pushing some of that tension away. Let it melt away. Let's do that one more time. Breathing into the hip. And as you exhale, you relax the muscle, relax the stress, let it ease out. You don't want it. And then you can open your eyes, take your foot down and uncross. Good, bring both knees in again. If you're on a chair, go ahead and alternate one knee at a time. You can rock side to side on the floor if you're on the floor. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna extend one leg, and again, I'll show you on the chair in a moment. We're gonna extend one leg away from my chair. And one knee's pulled in, all right? So I want you to feel that stretch here. Now we're gonna take this knee with the outside of the knee with the opposite arm, and we're just gonna roll over to the side. So you're gonna see that my hips lift, my shoulders off the floor. I wanna lift this arm up, and I just wanna rotate this arm as close to the floor as I can. Oh, I feel that in my back. And I'm feeling that big twist. Now if you're on the chair, well, guess what? I'm gonna come to the chair for you. Those of you that are on the floor, just breathe into that. On the chair, what you're gonna do is you're gonna cross this knee over, like you're crossing your legs. Take the opposite hand on the outside, then you take your hand on the back of the chair, however you wanna grab the chair, and then just turn and rotate back. You're still getting the same twist, yeah? Good, just stay there. Now if you're on the floor, it's a lot deeper of a stretch if you really want it. So again, just try to slide, don't force it, guys. Remember, this is a deep stretch. You're really trying to get that shoulder towards the floor. If you're tight, it's maybe not gonna be there yet, and that's okay. But exhale and just relax. It's like you're just telling your body, it's all right, relax, because it is. Good. And then bring that knee in, right into the chest, come back to the floor. If you're on the chair, rotate back to the center, uncross your legs. And then let's switch legs. Okay, extend that leg out. Oh, bring that other knee in. Don't you feel that tightness? Just moving that other leg. So if you're on the chair, cross your legs. If you're on the floor, just bring this knee across your body. Remember, we're gonna just keep this here. You can take this hand here, open this arm up, and rotate and look over to the other side of the room. So if you're on the chair, cross that leg, grab the back of the chair, and rotate and look back. Inhale, team, and as you exhale, try to soften into the stretch, into the twist. Can you twist further? Can you relax deeper? Well, this is my better side, so I can actually get my shoulder to the floor. You might not be there yet, that's okay. It's not a competition, it's really working with your body. Flexibility is an amazing thing. Some of us just have more natural flexibility, some of us don't, but we can always improve. Good. When you're ready, go ahead and bring that knee back in. Ooh. And then bring both knees in. If you're on the chair, uncross the knees and alternate knees up and down. All right, I got one more move before we relax. It's kind of a little bit of a working move. So if you're on the floor, what I want you to do is turn to the side. You can face me. You're gonna take this. Actually, I want your arm down here. This is where I want you. Can you guys see me? Yeah. All right, so we're gonna take those legs out and down. This hand behind your head. I'm gonna show you on the chair too. Option one, you're gonna bend the knees and you're just gonna lift here. It's gonna be a little side crunch. So that's option one. Option two, you can straighten up the top leg, crunch. Option three, push that hand to the floor and lift up onto your forearm, yeah? We're gonna do 15. Now, if you wanna go slow, you can go slow. If you wanna go a little faster, go faster. Now, if you're on the chair, all I want you to do is just turn your knees to one side, take this hand here, and all I want you to do is just crunch down. Actually, I'll have just crunch down and up. So we're gonna go to the side. So I'm gonna pretend I'm facing you. You're gonna crunch down and up. And then when we go to the other side, you're just gonna crunch down and up. It's basically crunching the sides of your abs. All right, so let's try 15. I know you're super excited for this. Ready? Pick your position and let's go. We're gonna go 15 times and down and 2. Nice and controlled. Exhale, 3. Remember, you can bend your knees 4. One leg, 5 if you want. Exhale, 6. But you're gonna feel this in the waistline. 7 and 8, 9. Make sure to breathe. We got 5 more on the side. 5. Exhale. Shh. Release down. Shh. Last 2. I feel my abs. Last 1. And 1. Good job, team. So you can just turn to the other side. I'm going to roll towards you so you can see me. Is that? Yeah. Almost done. Almost done, guys. So right here, palm down. Again, you can bend the knees if you're on the chair. Just turn to the other side. And 3, 2, let's go. We're going to go 15 times. 2, and down. 3, exhale. 4, and 5 are gone. 6, exhale. 7. You can take a break if you need to. 8, but try to finish. 9, 5 more times. Exhale. Inhale. 2, exhale. 3, there's 4. Last one, 5. Well done, guys. Turn onto your belly. Take your forearms down. Lift your chest and hold. Now, if you're on the chair, just go ahead and grab the back of the chair. Stay on the floor if you're here. If you're on the chair, I want you to do a little lift here. So just look up, or just like that camel, stretching out the small of your back. So this is really good for our spine. Yoga, a lot of yoga is so good for your spine. Super important for your life. Yes, lift your chest, look up. Good. Last but not least, we're going to push the palms into the floor. Slide back to child. If you're on the chair, round over your legs. This reverses the spine from the back position to the front. Deep breath in. Exhale down and release. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more time, guys. Breathe in. Breathe out. And then let's just come up. If you're on your chair, just stay on your chair with both feet down. If you're on the mat, you can cross your ankles. You can take your bottoms of the feet together. You can find any position that feels comfortable. And then take your hands on your legs or on your knees. Turn your palms up. Take your index fingers and thumbs together. Lift your chest, shoulders roll down and back. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Feel the belly expand. Hold your breath. And now exhale, push your belly button into your spine, pushing all the breath out of the balloon. 2 more times. Breathe in. Sit up taller. Inflate a little deeper. Hold. Exhale, relax. One more time, team. Inhale. Hold. And let it go. Open your eyes. Take your hands at your sides. Give me a nice deep breath in. Arms sweep over your head. Exhale, grab your floor or your chair and reach over to one side. Go to the other side. Grab your chair or your floor and stretch over. Do it again. Bending into that elbow. Extend that arm a little further out. And one more time to the second side. Notice how your body feels right now. The energy, the work you've done. Come up to seated position. Give me a nice deep breath in. Look up. Take your palms together. Exhale your hands into your heart center. And I want to thank you all for being here today. As we all end in Namaste, we say Namaste at the end of yoga. That means the goodness in me salutes the goodness in you. And I really do appreciate the time that you took to be here with me. I hope you enjoyed it. And I'm going to shut off our recording now. If you have any questions, you can ask.